While this slow, satisfying earwax removal plays out, I want to take you somewhere else for a moment. Not to a dark medieval village this time, but to a sunlit courtyard in ancient Greece, where wisdom flowed from the mouths of philosophers and medicine, still mingled with myth. Now, you might think the Greeks, founders of reason, of logic, of science, had all the answers when it came to healing. And in many ways, they were ahead of their time. But when it came to ear pain, their methods were a surprising dot, because while they understood the body in many ways, they still believed deeply in the balance of the four humors: blood, phlegm, yellow, bile. And when that balance was off, sickness followed. Ear pain, to them, wasn't just physical. It was energetic, emotional. It was a sign of imbalance, a sign that something inside or outside was wrong. So when someone came to an ancient Greek physician with ear pain, they wouldn't just inspect the ear. They would ask about the weather, your dreams, your recent mood, even what foods you've eaten. And then they would choose a remedy. And some of those remedies were unlike anything you'd expect. Asterisk, asterisk, let's start with the most common one: olive oil, used warm, sometimes infused with garlic or mint. The Greeks believed olive oil could soften whatever was trapped inside the ear, wax, wind, spirits, and help it come out. Sound familiar? Even today, doctors sometimes recommend olive oil to loosen impacted wax. So maybe they were onto something. But the Greeks didn't stop there. They added things: crushed herbs, burnt fig leaves, ground up beetles. Yes, you heard that right. There are texts that describe taking dried insects, crushed into powder, mixed with oil, and gently poured into the ear. Why? Because they believed these insects carried the essence of the earth. Their movement, their heat, their energy was thought to break up blockages in other recipes. The oil was mixed with ashes from wool or even burned hair. The ash was symbolic, a purifier. It was believed to drive out moisture demons or a cold wind from within. Then came more elaborate mixtures: goat's milk boiled with laurel, donkey's bile mixed with honey, even snakeskin steeped in vinegar. They didn't see this as strange. They saw it as sacred. Each ingredient carried meaning. Milk equals nurture. Laurel equals victory. Snake equals transformation. Ear pain, to them, was a battle, and they brought their best tools to the fight. Even the act of tilting the head to pour in the liquid was seen as symbolic. You weren't just treating the ear, you were releasing trapped imbalance, unblocking communication with the divine. Because The Greeks believed the ears were connected to spiritual clarity. If the ear was blocked, the soul couldn't listen, and neither could the mind. So healing the ear was about more than just pain. It was about restoring order to the world inside you. Asterisk, asterisk, of course. Some of these remedies seem dangerous now. Bile, insects, ash. By today's standards, they'd never be allowed in a clinic. But for the Greeks, healing wasn't just about results. It was about philosophy. They believed nature provided everything we need to heal. And the body, like the cosmos, was full of invisible forces trying to stay in harmony. They didn't separate medicine from spirituality. They didn't separate symptoms from the soul. And so, ear pain became a message, a whisper from within, asking to be heard. Asterisk, asterisk. Let's dive even deeper into the remedies themselves. Because while olive oil was the foundation, many of the treatments added more. Sometimes far more than we'd ever consider today. One of the strangest, a mixture of honey, ash, and goat urine. Yes, goat urine. This wasn't done lightly. The goat had to be young, healthy, preferably fed on fresh figs and barley. The urine was collected in the morning and mixed with honey, a sacred substance, and a pinch of ashdod. Why this combination? The Greeks believed the bitter, salty, warm nature of urine could expel what they called cold phlegm from the inner ear. Honey was used to soothe, ash to purify, and the warmth of the mixture was believed to open the body's pathways. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, how could this possibly help? And you'd be right to wonder. Modern medicine tells us that many of these substances are not sterile and could introduce bacteria or irritants. But at the time, these weren't seen as dirty. They were